English Listening Practice. Episode 3. The Millionaire Next Door. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Daily English Moments. I am your host, Emily. Today, I want to talk about a simple thought that changed how I see money and being successful. We often see famous people in the news with expensive cars and very big houses. But some normal people who are not famous have built real wealth by having easy, good habits every day for many years. In our talk now, I will share these simple habits from a book called The Millionaire Next Door. I will speak slowly and use clear words and simple stories. This will help you see how small choices can make big results over time. You do not need to read that book. It is like having a nice friend who shows you how to be smarter with your money. Think about your neighbor. Imagine a person who lives near you. Every weekend, this person cuts the grass when the sun comes up. During the week, they make their coffee at home. They do not spend money at expensive coffee shops. They say hello to you when you walk past them. Then they go about their day without trying to get attention. This calm person may have $1 million saved or invested quietly. You could be standing next to a rich person in the food store and not know it. That idea seems a little surprising. But it is all about habits. It is not about magic. Let us start now. First, let us talk about being careful with money. This means you look at the real value of things, not just the cool look or style. Let me tell you about my friend, Sarah. She used to buy a new mobile phone every 6 months. She liked having the newest model. But soon, she saw that this spending took a lot of money from her savings. The new phones were not very different from the old ones. One day, she decided to stop buying a new phone so often. She chose to keep her phone until it did not work well anymore. With this change, she saved many hundreds of dollars each year. She took that money and put it into a small account for investing. Slowly, that account started to grow. She felt good knowing her choices were helping her future, not just her style. Another good habit is to ask, will this thing last a long time? My brother David used to buy a new car almost every year. He loved the feeling of driving a brand new car with all the newest things. But after a few years, he saw a problem. The new feeling went away fast. He always had very high car payments. The car also lost its value quickly. He started asking himself if that short happy feeling was worth the money. Later he chose to stop this habit. He bought a car that was used but in good condition. That car did not look great to other people, but it worked very well and cost much less. That choice helped him save thousands of dollars over the next years. Asking, will this last? Helped him stop wanting things that were only fun for a little while. It helped him start building a future that was more stable. Make a plan for time and money. Planning your time is important, just like planning your money. When you plan your day, you help both your energy and your wallet. One of my teachers in school, Mr. Brown, talked about how he planned both. Every morning at 6, he would write a short list of things to do. The list had one main work goal. It also had one small money task. That money task might be easy, like checking how much he spent last month. Or it could be reading a short article about saving better. After work, He would spend a few minutes looking at what he had spent that day. He noticed things like how much he spent on snacks or riding taxis when he could have walked or used the bus. Slowly, he started to cook food more at home and use the bus more often. Over time, these small changes grew. He saved more than $1,000 in only 6 months. By planning both his time and his money, he kept on track and did not have much stress. Here is one more easy tip. Say, "I cannot buy that now." This may sound a little strange, but it makes you stop and think. When you see something new that you like, that pause gives you a chance to think. Maybe the price will go down later. Maybe you will see that you do not need it. One of my neighbors, Tom, did this with a bicycle he wanted. It cost $200. He told himself, "I cannot buy that now." He decided to save $10 each week instead. After 8 weeks, he had enough money saved to buy the same bike. He did this without any stress and without owing any money. The phrase, "I cannot buy that now," is a quick mental trick. It helps you build patience and keeps your spending in check. Money is not the final goal. It is a tool that gives you more choices in life. Think about my uncle George. He worked for many years in a small job at an office. He did not make a lot of money, but he saved 15% of his money each year. He put it into simple investment funds. He did not spend his money on big trips or the newest technology. He focused on having stability and freedom. After about 30 years, he could stop working and live comfortably. Now he spends his mornings working in his garden and helping at a local center. He did not chase very expensive things. He built peace of mind. That is the real good thing about making smart money choices. Learn to manage money alone. Sometimes people get money help from their family. That support is good. But the book says it can slow down your learning about money. I remember when I was in high school. My mother and father gave me $20 every week for lunch and small things. I felt lucky. But I did not think much about it. I usually spent all the money on snacks and games and saved nothing. But my friend, Lisa, had a small job on the weekend at a food store. Her parents did not give her extra money. So, she made her own money plan. She put any extra money into a small jar. After a few years, she had enough saved to pay for a car repair that was a surprise. She did not have stress. That experience taught her to manage money very well. I had to learn that lesson later. And it was hard. When you handle your own money, even small amounts, it really teaches you how to keep it. Know the difference between things. Another habit is knowing the difference between assets and liabilities. These are 2 words that can change how you think about everything you buy. Assets bring money into your pocket. Think of a house you rent to someone who pays you rent each month. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. Think of a very big TV that costs extra money for electricity and to fix if it breaks. Rich people next door build assets. They buy rental homes, stocks, or small businesses that make money for them. They avoid liabilities that take away their savings over time. When you start to think of things you buy in this way, you naturally choose more assets. Make a simple money plan. Creating a budget sounds hard, but it is just a friendly plan for your money. First, write how much money you earn. Then, write how much you spend on needs, on fun, and on saving. Next, pick one thing to spend less money on. For example, my friend Maria saw that she spent too much money on food from restaurants during her work week. She started by cooking simple meals at home only 2 times a week. Slowly, she cooked 4 times a week. She saved the extra money in a jar. After 1 year, she had enough saved to pay for some car repairs. She did not need a loan. A budget is just a map. It shows you where your money is going. Then you can choose a better path. Keep learning new skills. Learning never stops. Rich people next door read books, watch videos, or take classes online. My colleague, Jane, for example, learned how to design websites from free video lessons. She made a few websites for small stores to get practice. Then she used the money she made to pay for better tools and courses. Her new skill not only paid for itself, but also started bringing in extra income each month. When you improve your skills, you improve your ability to earn money. That makes saving easier. Choose where you live carefully. Where you live is important too. Costs are very different in different places. Some towns have low rent and cheap food. Big cities can be very costly. Rich people next door often choose to live where costs are lower. You may earn less money in a small town, but you can save a bigger part of what you earn than a person in a huge city who pays very high rent. Teach good habits to children. Family habits leave a mark that lasts. Parents who teach children to save coins in a jar give them a gift that lasts a lifetime. Children watch the jar get full and feel proud. That early habit becomes a natural part of their life when they get older. Patience and hard work. Patience and hard work are your best friends on the path to having wealth. Wealth rarely appears very fast. It grows over many years. Every time you save a little, invest a little, or wait to buy something you want, you plant a seed. That seed grows into a tree many years later. Spend to support your goals. Living well does not mean spending a lot of money. It means choosing where to spend so your money helps your goals. Skip one expensive meal. Use that money for a weekend trip. Trade a fancy coffee for coffee you make at home. That saved money can pay for a summer class. When spending matches your dreams, you enjoy life more. Write down your spending. Here is a helpful thing to do. For 1 week, write down every amount of money you spend, down to the last dollar. $1 here, $2 there, a quick snack, a small tip. At the end of the week, look at your list. Find places to spend less. Maybe bring a bottle of water you can fill again. Save those dollars to invest in your future. Small amounts become big amounts.